it'll be interesting to see if he can actually, do as some people expected him to do and take it by storm. But GLHF's been called, and we're going to go into the warm-up round.
All right, first match of the day, early in the morning at Gamers Assembly 2015 in what was it? Potiers in France, and
Dear,
we are now off to start the match after Carl is ready. First a warm-up round, so then we could take a quick look at the Daddy Mania records by the players. It often gives a good idea of how well prepared the players are. Massa here, top 2 with 56.84. Followed by Roa on top 4 with 56.94. And then Koons on top 8 with 56.99. So we have 3 players below the 57 mark. And where's Carl? He's on top 15 with 57.19. So, but Carl, he is that consistent player. I don't think he's trying very hard to push for good times when he's practicing. Because he knows that consistency is the key to winning. And as we saw yesterday, that was definitely the case for Carl. And here we go, Leo. First round.
whew, let's get hyped, everyone.
This is gonna be very exciting. It's gonna be Carl against Roa and against Acer Koons, and then Euronix Massa. And here we go, off for the first round.
I daddy shut.
Daddy shut, let's remember that. Change camera, let's remember that.
All right, and I'll take it away.
All right.
Okay, Carl dropping back a tiny bit after the first turn. Maybe he released just to make sure he had a safe line. Going into this section here, I think all of the players managed to avoid the gear down, with Massa benefiting the most from that turn as he pulls away, and Roa actually having the least luck, falling back by a tenth of a second, but it's still extremely tight at the top. Koons fighting with Massa there. Car's basically inside each other. Ooh, I think Massa had to release there, and now Carl is creeping back in, while Roa actually made a small mistake. Ooh! Koons, he's gone. He's out of it. And Massa now is in first place. A fair bit away from Carl in second. So, 10 points for Massa to start things off. And Carl will take second. 57.59 for Massa. 67 from Carl. Probably messed up those times. I'm tired. Znik, what just happened?
Well, Koons could, or if he continued, he could have taken 10 points there, but a big crash into the pole there led him to only 3 points in the first round. So a rocky start for the Dutch player here, but now he has a new chance in round number 2, and he goes very wide here over the border. And let's see, Carl with a very slow corner doesn't get as much speed as the other 3 players who are now battling in the top here. And now we have this crucial part here. Koons had to release some gas and gets a bad line for the next corner and clips it. So now it's Massa and Roa over the grass here, very close. Massa with, oh, he clips the wall as well. And now it's Roa and Carl. And now Carl is 1600s behind Roa. He has some catching up to do. Can maybe get closer to Roa with some good ends here, but no. Roa is gonna take 10 points here. And yeah, the rest of the players are quite spread out, so not the best round there. Roa takes 57.55, which is a decent time, but not too well.
And Carl getting his second lot of 6 points there. I'm sure he'll be pretty pleased to be able to safe it to the finish and get second 2 times in a row. Massa, clip or release, but also Carl dropping down. So 2 players already with a massive disadvantage in this round just after 1 turn. Meanwhile, Roa has boosted himself forward with a fantastic line actually in that turn, and Koons is comfortably in second. So at the moment, looks like a bit of a 2-horse race.
Oh!
Good morning, Russo. But who's that?
That was Carl.
straight into the wall.
Yeah.
Roa still firmly in the lead. Koons making some ground though after risking it over the Ramstein. But he's still just a little bit too far. 10 hundredths behind. He's going to risk the end. It could pay off. He could take the 10, but it looks unlikely at this stage. Yeah, Roa is going to fly into the finish. 57.37. Pretty good time for match. And 57.44 from Koons, who takes 6 points. Massa takes third and Carl fourth without mistakes in that round.
Yeah, so a good start here for Roa. I guess, well, we have a lot of unpredictable players here, like Roa and Massa. I would say Carl and Koons are perhaps the more stable players out of these. And so here we go into round number 4. Koons with a better start over the blue part here. And we have Massa and Carl fighting for second now. And Roa is actually quite far behind after the start section. And now into this crucial part here. Everyone got past it. Let's see, where is Carl? He has fallen down, so it's a battle between Massa and Koons now in the top. Massa, though, he is 24 hundredths of a second behind Koons. So Koons looking very good this round to take 10 points. And he needs it because he is only with 12 points on the overall scoreboard. But Carl is coming back here. Might look to overtake Massa with a nice end. But no, Massa is going to keep that second place. And another decent round here. 57.55 from Koons. And he now jumps from 4th to 3rd in the scoreboard because of that.
Yep. The times that we've been seeing probably indicate that the players aren't completely warmed up because, at least in the last few matches yesterday, Roa clips the wall hard and he's lost a couple of seconds there. And Koons with a smaller bump from the border there allows both Carl and Massa to pass him. Massa with a fantastic start.
Did you see Koons?
No, I was specking Carl.
He got a complete stop. He just crashed into the wall. I don't know, maybe he's a little bit tired still. Hasn't woken up.
Okay, well, a huge mistake from Koons then puts him pretty much out of this one. So it's really a round between Carl and Massa has the advantage currently. But he had to release quite a lot there. Carl could, with a sick end, take first, but it's not to be, and Massa will take the last turn relatively safely and collect 10 points with a time of 57 seconds, 36 hundredths.
Yeah, that is the best time of the match so far. And that was the last round of this first map, Yellow Lambo by Wally. So that was our favorite map in terms of, blunders.
Yeah.
It's always very exciting to see that start, see how people cope with it, and also this mid-section where you have to go through this tight platform jump very easily to flip around. Anyway, as the current standing are, we have Massa on first, 34 points. And then we have, Roa on second with 31.
Yep. Koons third, 25, and Carl also, 25. So,
yeah, so
Carl
tied for third.
Koons tied.
Anyway.
We're going to go into Older Than Ever here by ranked. One of the maps we didn't see too much drama on, although one turn to look out for is, of course, the blue part checkpoint that you will see in just a moment. The players go through it now. Just, as you can see, Massa completely wiped out and Carl had to slow down a lot. So it's one of those turns that I think it's really important to safe, because you just clip that checkpoint, you lose pretty much all your speed.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose maybe a couple of seconds of time, which puts you right out of the race.
Yeah. So a quick look here at the Daily Mania record lists. Nothing has changed since yesterday, I think. So top 3 is occupied by Massa, the German player. Then we have Roa on top 8 with 1 minute 2 second and 25 hundredths. And then Koons on top 11 with 33 hundredths. And then, as usual, we see Carl with the slowest speed, or personal best, on top 15 there. So, heading into second map, older than ever by ranked. Massa is in the lead, but only with 3 points, so it's still a close pack here. So a good round from either Carl or Koens could turn it completely around. So let's follow Koens here, who is playing on his laptop. Let's remove the Dedimania. And he is off to a good start, under the top 1 Dedimania time, even. Let's see, do we have any mistakes? No, very close group. Now to the blue part, very crucial section here. Oh, and someone clipped the checkpoint. It was Carl? No, it was Massa.
Yeah.
So Massa with a big mistake, and Koens is keeping that lead. Oh, Carl tried to risk it, but he got a bump on the border. So Roa will be able to pass him. And now we are getting closer to the end here. And Koens still in the lead, and now we have a little bit of separation between the 3 players in the top here. Roa though could get closer to Koens here. Let's follow this battle. Where is his hotkey? There it is. Koens is looking very good here in this first lap, and we'll take it 1 minute 2 seconds and 56 hundredths. And like I said, it turned around. He's now only 2 points behind Roa and Massa now, who is tied for first.
Well, 10 points for first place is actually an extremely large amount when you consider that last place only gets 3, so
yeah,
winning rounds really does make a huge difference, and it's kind of been backwards. But Carl straight to the pole. He's not going to be winning a round anytime soon, I'll tell you that. So Koens, who just won a round, maybe looking to take another.
Oh,
and Massa again, he clips the checkpoint. He must be kicking himself after that. It's a mistake we saw him do yesterday as well. A risky player like him could be perhaps expected to do that every once in a while, but not as often as he has been doing. So he needs to change his line a bit, I think, for the next rounds. Roa trying to make the comeback on Koens, and he actually gets really close with a fantastic section there. With a speedy end here, he could take first place, and he does do that. He gets way more exit speed from that turn. Koens drops down to second, and Roa, as long as he keeps it together at the end here, which he does, yeah, he will take 10 points with a great little comeback at the end there.
Yeah. And actually Massa fell down to last area, so only collects 3 points. So now Massa
Roa
from first to third in a matter of 2 rounds here. But it's very close between the 3 or 4 players. So round number 3, let's see what we get this round. No mistakes in the start. This start is pretty straightforward. And there we have one. Massa does a mistake early in the round, so he's probably gonna collect 3 points again. Oh, and Roa gets a little bit too high on that quarter pipe. Will almost clip the checkpoint, but he loses a lot of speed because of that. So now it's a battle between Carl and Koens. Koens now 10 hundredths behind Carl. With a good end, he could overtake him. But that's going to be hard. Carl is an experienced player. He knows how to play under pressure. Onto the blue part here. Now it's all about collecting that speed throughout the stretch here. And it seems like they have identical speed, so Carl will remain in the lead, but has a really awkward turn and hits the pole. And Koens, Massa and Roa are able to pass him. Wow, what a wide and dangerous line from Carl there. That was...
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was thinking. Maybe it was an accident.
Yeah.
I know he plays with keyboard, so perhaps a little harder to make those tiny adjustments he needed, but
yeah,
that's pure speculation, of course. The big mistake from him means that he collects 7 less points than he should have that round, which is quite a big blow. Go for this start here. All players are pretty good starts. Roa with a wide line there, drops down a little bit. He's now 10 hundredths behind the world record. Ooh, and he has to slow down a lot to avoid that checkpoint. Meanwhile, if we follow the pack at the top, it's extremely close. Carl with more speed over that section will take second ahead of Massa, but Massa creeps in again just in the next turn. And Massa now, he's actually had to release some gas, I think, so he's pretty far behind Carl and Koons. And we'll follow the battle between Carl and Koons for first going into the end. Whoever gets most speed here will probably take the round. And it looks about equal. It's neck and neck here. It's all going to go down to this final turn that Carl scuffed last time. Oh, and Koons risks it full on. Almost misses the finish too. But it paid off because he gets the 10 points that I guess he would want. And now has 61 overall ahead of Rowe with 55 in second. So great stuff from Koons on this map.
Yeah, I think he started off at 4th and now he's 6 points ahead of 2nd place. So really good stuff here from Koons. He's been playing great on this map. And a bump there from Roa, but he doesn't lose too much speed because of that. Now the crucial checkpoint part, no one clips it. Roa though is on 4th again after the start. And we see Massa leading the way, but this pack is very close. And Carl had to slow down a lot. Will fall down to 4th. And Roa is catching up to Koons here. Will pass him, maybe. Oh, Massa goes so wide. I don't know why he went so wide. He clips the checkpoint and Roa is now in the lead, closely followed by Koons here. And Carl is also quite far behind, so this is going to be a battle for 1st and 2nd. And Roa with a nice line there will extend his lead. But is he going to take the last corner here? Yes, he will do so. And jumps into the finish with 1 minute, 2 seconds and 73 hundredths. So 10 points for Roa there. He is going to be closer to Koons there, who is occupying 1st in the scoreboard. But that was a huge crash from Massa. He's doing a lot of mistakes here.
Well, what I think happened there was I saw he was on a very nice time, only 5 hundredths behind Kronos's Daddy 1. And I think he really green Rammsteins, which are notoriously bumpy.
Oh yeah, that might have been it.
So he could have been sort of pushed away from the ideal racing line.
Yeah.
And yes, as Cowie asks, opponents are forced on, which actually means that the players, when they see the opponents, could feel more pressure. I know Massa and Cam 1 will see opponents more than Koons with Cam 3, so that could play a factor in deciding this one.
Yeah.
Many people have speculated about Cam 3 being better than Cam 1 for LAN events because of that.
Indeed. And here we move on to challenge number 3, which will be Outburst by Kronos. And in the daily manual list we see Koons on top 3 with 1 minute 4 seconds and 64 hundredths, and Massa just right behind with 100 of a second slower. And then we have Roa on top 8 with .82, and then Carl again with the worst time, .88, but it's very close between the players here, within 25 hundredths of a second.
Yeah, and this map is another map which has a very difficult end. We saw yesterday Haki Jr., for example, who had a massive lead, managed to mess up the end just a little bit, hit the wall head on, and then that caused Roa to take 2nd place in that match. So, yeah, this end can be tricky.
It did.
We're going to first round here. And this start, I'd say, is relatively standard. This drift rarely causes players trouble. But here we see a jump at the landing, which can be a bit awkward. All players did pretty well. Carl with a super amount of speed, actually, boosts into 1st place. He's on a fantastic start right now. All the other 3 players bunched tightly behind him. And good speed from Koons there. He will slide into 2nd and challenge Carl for 1st. this section here, you can get some awkward bumps which totally slow you down there, which are almost impossible to avoid, but none of the players got one this round. And look at this pack of players, Massa, Koons, but Massa, did he clip the side? It certainly looked like it,
Yeah.
and he falls down quite a lot. And the rower will take an extra point for being third this round, as long as it stays like this through the end. And yes, Koons and Carl both did the end just fine, and Koons will take the 10 points, 105.11 for him, which is a decent time, and 105.35 for Carl in second, which is a little slower than decent, but not too bad.
Yeah, and the points limit is 100, so Koons now is getting very close to it. He could make it in this third challenge here, and if he continues like he does, it is looking good. And now Carl with the slow start here will fall down and gets an awkward bump there before the drop. And again we see a close pack in the top here. Massa with a not so good landing there will get passed by Koons and Roa. And here we have Carl as well joining up in the fight. So this could be anyone's rounds at this point. Roa though.
Koons, he hits the pole.
Oh, Koons hits the pole. Very crucial. And Carl loses some speed here. Massa has to adjust the line and maybe speed as well. So Roa is getting an advantage here, 3100s, but Roa falls down in speed and Carl clips the pole. So it's Massa left alone at the top. And Roa is probably going to take second here. I think Koons is too far behind. Yes, 2.6 seconds behind. So this turned out to be a very close, not so close round, after being a very close fight up until the midsection here where all the problems started to kick in.
Yeah,
and
I'd say that's down to the players risking quite early on.
Yeah.
Maybe experienced players you wouldn't expect to feel the need to risk being just a little bit behind, but since they were coming towards the end of the map, they thought if they're going to get an advantage in a turn, it's going to be right now. And they just decided to go for it, which meant that we saw mistakes.
Yeah.
And Carl, talking about mistakes, made one in the start here, and with an awkward jump and landing, he's going to be maybe half a second behind leader Massa right now. And if we just take a look at how Roa's doing, you'll be able to see the two players ahead of him, and will desperately be trying to catch up, risking the turns to get a share of the 10 or 6 points on offer for first or second. And a great turn there, fantastic actually, puts him in first place. Koons head on into the barrier, will go down to fourth place, no doubt about it. And Massa now fighting with Roa. Roa with more speed there, but he's still a bit too far behind to take first just yet. He will risk it, but hits the wall. And that's an awful mistake to make. He goes into fourth, dead last. And the other two players who made mistakes managed to keep it together till the end, which meant that they got more points than Roa, who just made a pretty awful mistake to make and had to stop and then start again.
Yeah.
If you want to avoid at all costs.
So now let's see. Koons, if he finishes first one round and first or second the other rounds, he is gonna finish this map as finalist. So it's gonna be interesting to see if Koons can keep it together. But now we see Roa with a good start here. Massa is very close by, and now to the drop. Everyone does it well. And here it's important. Roa takes a very inside line and gets himself ahead with a couple of hundreds here. But Koons come back very strong. Might have gone too wide and had to
Koons,
release.
he had to clip the hole. He clipped the hole.
Because of that. And Carl gets a bump on the border. And Massa is taking first here. So now it's a very close fight between Carl and Roa for second place. And if Massa he does a blunder and he falls down. Roa and Carl are now fighting for first. But Roa with a nice corner there will set himself 2100s ahead of Carl. So this is going to be very hard for him to overtake. And Roa is going to set the best time of the round with 10 points. And that was a very chaotic match. Or round, however.
Znik? What are we watching? I don't think... I think Massa, who was boosted up and
Yeah.
then slowed down again, just out of nowhere. It was crazy. Um, Here we go into the fifth and final round on Outburst for this losers bracket final. And Coons with 88 and also Roa. So even if one of them wins, they will not be finalists, but they will need to only finish the round after this one to ensure they are finalist. And tight pack here. No one's really at a massive disadvantage going through the 35 seconds checkpoint. It's Carl and Coons breaking away from the pack a bit. Massa dropping down, but with a good end, Massa could still take this one. Although that being said, he is now 40 hundredths behind, and Roa with a fantastic line there, loads of speed, will boost into second, and he's now fighting with Coons for the lead. Carl at the back.
Whoa!
Hits the wall. Crucial mistake, and he will get third because of that. Carl gifted those extra points. I guess he applied the right amount of pressure with his driving and almost forced the error, you could say, from Roa there.
Roa is playing with camera 1, right?
I'm
or
not
do
sure.
you know? Not sure.
I'm
Okay.
not sure which cam, but he was so close that I'm sure that he would have seen Carl behind him.
Yeah, and look at that. Coons only needs 2 more points. Roa, he needs 8, so we could see 2 finalists in the first round of this 4th map coming up. Massa and Carl still needs some points to get finalists, but with a couple of good rounds, they could be in the fight for first as well. So the 4th map is going to be Chinamasta by Lukobida. And if we take a quick look at the times here, we see Massa with the best time. I think Massa has been the player with the best records so far, with 59.14. And then we have Carl this time on second of the 4 players at top 9 with 59.26. Very close, only 1,000 ahead of Coons at top 10 with 59.268, and then we have Rua on top 13. So it's very close in the Daily Miner records lists between the 4 players.
I'd say on this map, things to look out for are the pole at the first turn.
Yeah.
It catches a lot of players out for some reason, and then also in the middle of the map there's a few almost like slalom-y turns and a speedy section, and we'll probably see a lot of overtakes in the speedy section just before the drop into the left turn before the end. So here we go, first round on this 4th map in the losers bracket final at Gamers Assembly 2015.
Oh yeah.
They're off the line, and here's the pole I was talking about just coming up, and all the players avoid it. Maybe it's the more inexperienced players that sometimes hit it, but you know, we're not going to rule out any of these guys making a mistake at the start and crashing head on into it. And very close back as we go through the 25-second checkpoint. Massa at the back, but he's right back into the fray through that turn. Coons breaking away a bit with Massa and Roa just behind, as Carl has dropped down. Carl with a big mistake actually, over a second behind. I missed that, but it seems that Coons will take first here, and Roa and Massa is going to be neck and neck up until the line for second. But Massa with more speed, maybe? Yes, just slightly edges in front at the end, and will take 6 points. But Coons with first becomes finalist, and also denies Roa from becoming a finalist as well.
Yeah, that's very
So
important for.
If he can win this now, he'll be extremely happy with that, and also secured his spot in the consolation final.
Yeah, that was important for Coons to deny Roa that finalist mode. So now he has 1 chance alone as finalist. Yeah, and he is looking very strong this round. He lost some speed over that platform part. So Massa and Roa is getting closer now, especially Massa. But Kuhns keeps it in there with some nice... Oh, he lost some grip there, so Massa will have more speed, will pass him. Even Roa passes him, but Roa with a no-slide clips the wall, and Kuhns has to go outside the pole there. And he is out of the race, so now it's Massa and Carl. Carl is probably too far behind, so unless Massa makes a mistake at the end here, he will take 10 points.
And now Roa was able to take third and will be a finalist now after just getting 100 points there.
Yeah.
And Massa's only 2 away with 98, so we could see 3 finalists on this map very shortly. And Roa and Kuhns will probably be risking as much as they can to try and win to stop that from being a reality. We follow Roa here at the start. He was very bit wide there and takes an inside line at the next turn, however, and is straight back with the others. Very close pack here. Lots of different lines, varying amounts of wideness in that turn from the different players. Oh, look at this. The pack is so compact now.
Wow.
All of the players without mistakes. Roa and Kuhns surely risking, but Roa again, he gets no drift by drifting when he was already partly into a slide. Massa in first here, desperately trying to deny Kuhns first place, but Kuhns is fighting back, and Carl also. Massa has to risk the end here hugely. And he does, but I'm not sure it's enough. No, Kuhns with more speed will take first place.
Good game! Wow, Kuhns is now into the consolation final.
Oof. Wow, very well played by Kuhns there. He looked well after the first map. And yeah, now we have 2 finalists, so this match could be over almost before it started.
Yeah. Carl, he needs to take 2 rounds as first. Otherwise, he is out of the tournament. This is his last chance to make up for not the best start of the match. And Massa clips the wall. So now it's a fight between Carl and Roa. Carl looking good now. Is 10 hundredths ahead of Roa. That's not much. Could switch around very quickly with either of the players doing a mistake or catching up. And
this is so close.
Yeah. Oh, Roa with more speed. Does he avoid the no slide? Yes, he does. Might go too wide here. Yeah, had to release some gas there. So Carl will stay ahead still. Now coming up to the last corners. Will Roa be able to overtake him? Only for a short amount of time.
Carl with an insane turn.
Bounces back, but will he have enough speed? He clips the border and doesn't have enough speed. Roa will overtake him and take second. Wow, that was very unlucky from Carl. He got a small bump on the border, and because of that he lost a lot of speed. And Roa taking that with just 100 of a second.
And that is Trackmania, folks. Those are the sorts of things that can happen, however frustrating, but they do happen to everyone, so...
So yeah.
Oh, maybe Carl needed to put it together sooner in the match, but yeah, wow. Massa from Euronics now out, and both Euronics players who were favourites coming into this no longer in the tournament. So
Yeah.
the 6 remaining players